Big Z Reviews. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the newest Marvel film that just came out, and I absolutely loved it.
You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
So before I took almost 4-hour round trip to see this in IMAX, the night before I watched the original Doctor Strange on my 3D TV, which is now obsolete, but the movie still looks awesome on it. The LG Passive 3D. It's truly sad that the 3D TVs don't exist anymore. I think it's all because of the passive ones. The active ones. Or I have a passive 3D one, and that's just like you just need the same 3D glasses as in the movie theater, instead of like the headset ones with like the shutter. But when I watched it, it's funny. I was struck at how much that Doctor Strange is kind of like a complete standalone movie. Like really, it's one of the few Marvel films that you could watch and not have to watch any other film to know what's going on in the movie. And watching again, like Scott Derrickson, the director of the first one, did such a great job. But you see in every other Marvel movie since, whenever there's like any of the magic in it, of course, Doctor Strange stuff, but also stuff with Ant-Man and the quantum realm, and a lot of that stuff is all based on what Scott Derrickson did in Doctor Strange. And, this time around, I don't know what exactly happened, like disagreements, but I know he didn't film this one. But at the same time, he made The Black Phone, which is coming out, I think in June, or something like that. This actually looks a horror film that looks really good. But I think the best director they could have got that wasn't Scott Derrickson to direct this film, I think was definitely Sam Raimi. And I love Sam Raimi. I've seen like pretty much all of his films. Of course, the Spider-Man films are amazing. But also, I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead series. And honestly, he hasn't directed a movie in a while. Like he's really just kind of been doing more producing. And this one, he directed the shit out of it. Like I love that. Some of it is still very Marvel, but like whenever he gets his tone, his like the way he films and the way he does camera angles and like and different like music notes or guitar riffs and like the way he plays with movies is so strongly felt in this, even though it's like a huge Marvel film. I love whenever you can really, like, Sam Raimi is, like, all over the screen. But it's funny, it's a little, like, I wasn't scared at all. But, like, if you're a kid, it's definitely a bit scary and a bit violent at times. And, of course, it's so funny that sometimes, like, people are, like, criticizing it for that. But, I mean, when I was a kid, like, my older brother, like, I watched with him, like, every horror movie available, like, really dark, really bad, like, really, like, all of them I watched with him, and I turned out fine, I guess. But, I think that kids can handle what's going on here, but it's definitely stretching the limits of what you can do in the PG-13 Marvel film. And in this film, of course, you have Benedict Cumberbatch reprising his role as Dr. Stephen Strange. And the other one, the main character, is like, you can't talk too much about it without spoiling stuff, but from the trailer, obviously, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff for the Scarlet Witch is a big part of this film. And they also have a lot of the people, maybe like Benedict Wong as Wong, and as the Sorcerer Supreme now. And then the introducing Ixotil Gomez, I probably butchered that name, as America Chavez. And it's definitely like her character. If you want to be all pissy about Disney and do an equal representation of the different of life, there's definitely something you can be mad about at her, because, but at the same time, again, it's definitely Disney inclusion, because literally they could cut out like 30 seconds of film. Like, every time they mention it, but like essentially she has, like, her character, she has two moms, but she's from some weird multiverse universe that you see a tiny little bit of, but like there's definitely something for douchebags to be said about with her. But I really liked her. Like, she was great. Like, she was so, like, happy throughout the film. And she's kind of like what everyone is after, because she is unique in the multiverse, and that she has a power where she can jump between universes, but she doesn't know how to use it. Like, she only uses it like when she's in extreme danger and scared. She causes like a star portal which jumps between universes. And like this, like, Doctor Strange, she has to protect her from whatever demons or whatever might be coming after her to steal that power. And you know, I hate to do too many spoilers in this. I might like slightly spoiler just to talk a little bit about some stuff that, but I'll make sure, even if I get into slightly spoilery stuff, I'll make sure to mention that beforehand. But again, I love Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. And also has Rachel McAdams as Dr. Christine is a relatively large part to play into, because like that's kind of going throughout that, like, he as Doctor Strange, he can't really be there for her. And like at the beginning of the film, she's getting married, and that's kind of like setting off the whole thing of that, is there a different universe where we can be together, and there's a lot of stuff going on with that. It's a really interesting idea with how they say that, like, your dreams are windows into other universes, versions of yourself, and like they do some really interesting stuff with this. And to talk a little bit about what I loved, again, not spoiler, but like, I mean, it's slight spoiler because it's not in the trailer, and that's one thing. I think this may have had like some of the best trailers Marvel has done, just because they showed a lot of stuff, but they were red herring. They were misleading about what may be going on, and like I love that. But again, so now into slight spoilers. Just definitely not. No, I'm not going to do full spoilers or anything like that. But then slight spoiler is just who the villain of this film is, and that is Wanda Maximoff, or the Scarlet Witch. And I love that, because I know some people are criticizing it because like they feel like her character is changing, and I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't have minded a little bit more exposition for how she got to where she is. But I mean, we saw a whole miniseries, WandaVision. Like, she was the villain in that. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of people like watched it but didn't watch it or something. Especially didn't watch the end credit scene of WandaVision, because I mean the whole thing is like she's torturing these people, like making them live in this weird world, this bubble, and like mind controlling them, and they're in constant agony essentially, but they can't do anything. And then in the end, she gets the Darkhold, the evil book, and she is reading it and finding out about it and using it. And that is the big MacGuffin in the plot of this, is the Darkhold. And that because she can, like, one of the spells in it, she can use it to, like, dreamwalk and look into other universes. And, like, every night she's dreaming about her kids, that she created magically with their dead version of Vision. And like that, she wants to go in. She wants to steal the power to jump in different universes and go in one where her kids are alive. And the one thing that with this is that like they make a joke about it. Like, well, not a joke, but like Doctor Strange is like, your kids weren't real. They were created by your magic. And they were like, but like they never explain in the other universes, like, are the kids real, or why are the kids not dead in the other universes? Or like, in the other universes, did Vision not die, and did Wanda and Vision actually bang and create weird kids? Like, they never really attempt to tackle that, which I can understand, I guess. But, really, Elizabeth Olsen is, like, the star in this film. I mean, like, she is amazing, and everything that the director does with her, like, all of the horror aspects with her character are so well done. Like, I really want to see the movie again and experience it again, because she is just so badass and kind of evil, but, like, she has a reason for what she's doing. Like, she's not, like, pure evil. Like, she's been, like, misled or tainted by the Darkhold. So, like, she has reasons for what she's doing. And I really like a lot of what they did with her. And, I also, I mean, for the story, I mean, it's just kind of like going on an adventure. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have hated, like, another secondary villain. They have a little bit of that. But, like, one thing I love the most about this film is Doctor Strange's magic. Because there are a couple of, like, battle scenes, like magic battle scenes, and they are so fun and creative and interesting and magical. That's what, like, especially from was missing from the last the Beast film, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Like, the magic battles had no magic, and, like, I feel like there's, like, the magic battles were so interesting and creative. They're just and bombastic, and they're so interesting. I love them so much, and I wish more people would be when they showed magic in a movie. I wish they would be more creative with it, like this film was. And I'm curious to see what they'll do with this, because, I mean, so far the Phase 4 movies I've liked most of them except for Eternals, but they're all very different, and you don't know where they're going. Like, that's the one thing. This film, if you haven't seen, I think for required viewing, really, for this one, I really think you should see Doctor Strange and see WandaVision. Like, that, you could get away with seeing those two and watching Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and really enjoy it. Of course, I mean, I think seeing Spider-Man will also help, and seeing the Endgame and the other Avengers film would help. But those two are required viewing for this, because you won't just understand, like, those two really set up this film. Especially WandaVision, even more than the first Doctor Strange. Like, WandaVision is kind of like a prequel for this film. And I really like that. Like, it'll be interesting to see if they do other TV shows that expand, like, a story, like, leading up to a film. I hope they do, because I think this is really effective. Because, I mean, if you only have a limited amount of time to tell the story of Wanda turning, and doing it in a TV show is really effective. And I honestly absolutely love this film. Like, it's beautiful and weird, and I love the horror aspects that Sam Raimi brought to it. And I hope that he does another film after it. I hope he keeps making films. A lot of people would love to see another, like, Spider-Man 4. And I wouldn't mind seeing the Spider-Man 4, but at the same time, I would love to see another Drag Me to Hell. Just give him $30 million and let him do whatever he wants, an original project. Because I think he's still got it, But for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I'd probably give it like a 9.5 out of 10, 9.25 out of 10. I really loved it. And if you're a Marvel fan, I think there's a good chance you'll like it too. But definitely it is weirder than the average Marvel film. And if you don't like horror and violence, there's some magical violence in this. Like, you may be turned off by it, but I absolutely loved it. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.